So welcome to my live stream, and this live stream is all about breaking the power clip. Um, I titled it "Breaking the Power Clip" because we're going to deal more of the power clip and how to break it apart and why should we break it apart. So I've got this source image here in the left side, and we want to achieve the effect here, which is in the right side. And if you notice, these are just combination of Powerclip and creating a table with grids and some erasing over here this side. Okay, and also using some transparency. So before we start, I'm going to move this over to the left side, right side. I'm gonna move this over to the right side here, and I'm going to. So basically, I'm gonna start doing the effect with this picture here. So what I did here is I used the grids. The grids is or the graphing paper, a graph paper. So that creates some grids. So when you click on graph paper in the options here, because what happens, like for example here, 4 columns and 3 rows, right? So when I click and drag, so I got 4 columns and then 3 rows, 1 2 3. Okay, so that is useful. For example, you're creating a table. So let's just say, for example, you want to you have kind of like a visual graph that you're going to show. You can also use this one. You can also go to your shape tool. Sorry, not shape tool. You can okay, I think you have to break it out first. You have to break it apart first or convert to curves before you can edit it. Okay. But we're not going to talk about that, because what we're going to talk about is the grid or the table that we're going to use to achieve this kind of effect. So what I use here is 30 grids by 30 grids. So where I'm going to click on the graph paper, and then instead of 4 here, I'll just type in 30, and also here 30. Okay. So when you type in 30 there, I'm just going to start with this node here. Okay, see, notice that it snaps to node, it snaps to the edge. That's because my snap option is turned on, right? Alt plus Z or Z, that's actually very useful. See, if I uncheck that one, it's hard for me to to start, say for example like that. But if you really zoom in, I didn't start to that edge. That's because the snap wasn't turned on. So view, snap to, and then guidelines. Sorry, not guidelines. Objects. Okay. So now here, so since I put there 30 by 30, so 30 columns by 30 columns, right? And then I'm gonna start here to that node, click and then drag, and then go to the other end. Okay. So now I have that other end there. Okay. So now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break this apart first. I'm gonna move it over here first, and then I'm going to break this apart, and then I'm going to combine. So go to object, convert to curves, or sorry, convert to curves, and then I'm going to ungroup all, and then after that I'm going to combine. Okay, so it is important to combine so that when I power clip this to here, is going to be one whole one whole photograph, and then later on I'm gonna break it apart. Okay, so now this one I'm gonna put it into here, but what I'll do, instead of putting it to the corner here, because I'm going to have a problem selecting it later, so I'm going to move it over to just somewhere like that. Okay, so that I can grab the picture and then power clip it to the grids here. Okay, so I click this one, and then I go to object, and I go to power clip, place inside the frame. So my frame is basically the table, right? So I click that and it goes in, right? But you notice, because I started it not in the corner, so I've got this white space here. Okay, so how do you correct that? That's actually really easy. You click on it, right? And then you go to objects, and then power clip, and then edit power clip. So when you click on edit power clip, now you can move this and snap it to the corner. So if you're satisfied with that, see the corners here are fine, and then I can just go to object and then power clip, and then finish editing this level. There. Now, so what I'm going to do is, before I break it apart, because right now I can't select the squares, right? So I have to break it apart. But before that, I'm going to apply an outline. So you click here in the bottom, here in the status bar, click on it or double click, and then here I'm gonna set it to, I'll try 10 pixels first, and I'm gonna make it white color for the outline. Click OK here, and then let's see how it goes. There. Okay, so now I've got this these grids here, right? So now let's go back to our image here. So I've got the grids already, so the only thing I have to do is to separate this one and then rotate some and delete some grids. Okay, so I click on it. Now we are ready to actually break apart the power clip. Okay, so I click on object, and then I go to break power clip curve apart. Okay, so all of these are separate boxes. So if it's 30 by 30, so that would be 900. Is that right? Yeah, 900 squares. Is it right? Yeah, 900 squares. So anyway, so now you just randomly delete, because we're gonna start by deleting some, and of course it's gonna be white. So what I'm gonna do here is just randomly delete. Doesn't matter what you delete, but it should be somewhere in this side here. Okay, you can say, for example, here. Usually if I do this, I just do it quickly so that you're not aware, or it's purely random, and you're not thinking of anything like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna put some more here. Okay, so that's good enough. Now if you notice, some of the squares here are rotated, right? So here's what you can do. You can select some. So click on one square and then hold down shift, and then just randomly select the squares or the rectangle. Okay, and then after that you just click one more time, and then just go like this. See that one? So select, and then maybe I'll rotate it the other side. Click one more time. Okay, click here. So let's do that to some of the squares or the rectangles. Okay, maybe the other way around. Okay, and then maybe this one we'll just put it outside of the, outside of the graphic, so that looks like it, it exploded or something like that. So again, just random pieces, random movements, and the result will be nice because it's really random. Okay, now I'm going to rotate. Okay, rotate this one here, maybe some more here. Okay, so it's looking good now. Okay, so if you zoom in, say for example I'm done with this, I'm okay, like I'm satisfied with this one here. Now the only problem here is there's a lot of grids here which kind of confuse the eye. Okay, it doesn't really look nice. And if you look at the ones that I did here, it doesn't have the grids, right? So what I did here, these are actually layers. So what, let's dissect this first. So I've got two pictures here right on top of each other. So say this one here, say look at that. Okay, so that's what I did. I put one image on top of this one so that you won't see the grids, like the thin grids. So I'm gonna undo that one. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. So now my problem is I don't have that picture. I'm not sure if I copied it. Maybe I did. So I click on paste. No, sorry, it's not the one. So anyway, that's not a problem because one of this is actually a power clip of the bigger. So I'll show you. So I click on this one. Maybe I'll click on a box somewhere here that we don't need. Okay, click here and then go to object, power clip, extract content. See, that's the content. See, that is the content of each squares. Okay, so what I'll do, again, my view snap to object is very important so that I can go to the edge here. So I'm going to click on this point here and then I'm gonna drag it over here. I'm gonna let it snap and there. And of course I'm gonna put this to front. So object, order, to front of page. Okay, so now you can see the top image, right? So what I did here, so that I can see this effect, okay, the squares effects, so I put transparency. So you click on transparency tool and then click and drag going up like that, and then there. Okay, so at least you can still see his face and you don't see any grids here, but you can still see a little bit here. Okay, so I think that looks good now. So now what I did here, I typed in the letter, I mean the word or his name, Cruz, right? Cruz, Tom Cruise. Okay, so I'll make that change case uppercase, click OK, and then I think I use, I don't know what I use here. I'll try impact. I'll just choose a thick font. I forgot what I used there. Well, let's see. Okay, so yeah, I think I used this one. So anyway, I'm going to enlarge it. I'm gonna rotate it. So double click on the text, and then while you're rotating, hold down your control. So it would rotate. It will snap to say 90. See, that's 90. See this one, that's 90, or you can just type in 90 there. Anyway, so I'm gonna put this here. Okay, now how do I get the color of this one? So first of all, I have to remove the transparency. So I click on the transparency because I added transparency there. Remove transparency is this one, no transparency. Okay, so now a good technique too is, for example, you want to get the colors here, you can just drag it here and go to the bottom here and now you can see that you have that color already. Okay, so what I'll do here, I'm just going to click on that and then click on the blue, and then I'm going to, again, I'm going to snap it there like that. And so what I did here is I added transparency. So click on that and then go to your transparency tool, and I think I use uniform, which is this one here, uniform, and then you can adjust the transparency like that. Say I'm happy with that, so that would be good. Okay, now if you notice here the face, so what I did, I just simply erased it. So how do you do that? So you click on the letters and then you just go to your erase tool. Okay, and then you just like make a line from here. Say for example here, see, I'm just making an outline like that. Okay, so now this one I can delete that later, but before doing that, I'm just gonna do the same thing here. So I'm going to pass, okay, I'm gonna pass my eraser like that. Okay, and then now what I'll do, I'm going to ungroup this because I can't delete that until I have to ungroup it first so that I can break that apart. So click on object, break curve apart, and then now I can delete that. Right, now you can see his face. Okay, so now here, this one I just put like an axe, like a design here on the bottom. So that's a really simple rectangle, a red rectangle like that, right there. And then I made it red. Remove the outline by right mouse click on this, and then what I did here is I added transparency. So you click on this and then click and drag there, and that's it. Now let's delete that. F4. Let's see, it's and then you can move some squares here if you want. So yeah, so that's it. That's a simple but elegant effect. Okay, so is there any questions or clarification on what I did here? Anybody in the chat room? Oh yeah, I forgot this one here. So you have to click on that. Okay, sometimes you can't click on it because there are some objects underneath. You just go to view simple wireframe, and then when you click on simple wireframe, then you can select this, hold down shift and select this one here, which is the R, and then combine. So when you combine, click on enhance. So that's hollow now. Okay, if you don't have if there's not any other question, I can end this live stream, and I thank you for all the people who watched the live stream, and I will be back on Sunday. Thank you and good night if it's nighttime there, and good morning if it's in the morning there, or good afternoon if it's in the afternoon. Okay, bye and thank you.